Hey Earl, what's up? What's up, day? It's not Punny day. I've got a long story for you. Oh yeah, I'm ready to listen and observe, take notes. It's a pretty long one. Yes, pretty long. All right then. What's it called? Well, it's called The Wanderer. Ooh, lay on that sweet Zoom.
There once was a young boy who was abandoned by his parents on the day he was born. He once had a name, but it has long since been forgotten. He grew up in an orphanage, lonely and sad, eating poorly and being bullied by the other children. The boy was awkward and gangly and was forced to watch his peers grow older and be adopted while he simply aged, waiting for the day when he came of age so he could rid himself of this terrible place and explore the world. As the years went on, he grew more and more dejected with his lot in life. The only bright spot in his miserable days was that there was an old man across the street from the orphanage who had a swimming pool. The man took a liking to the boy and told him that he was free to swim in the pool anytime he pleased. The boy was more than happy to accept and discovered within himself a great passion for swimming and diving. He spent hours a day perfecting his flips and turns, entering the water as gracefully as a swan. But sadly, even this couldn't end well for him. The old man passed away, and the new owners of the pool were not nearly as obliging. The boy finally came of age and moved out of the orphanage. This is when he earned his title, the Wanderer. He set off on his own with just the clothes on his back and the shoes on his feet to explore the world. He traveled through Europe and Asia, staying in hostels and working for his meals. He hiked through Africa and hitchhiked across America, determined to see everything that was kept from him in his early life. One fateful afternoon found the Wanderer in Manhattan. As he wandered through Times Square, he noticed a businesswoman walking through the street looking down at her phone. Seeing a bus barreling towards her, he acted on instinct. He ran into the street, tackling the woman out of harm's way without a second to spare. As he helped her to her feet, she thanked him profusely. Dusting herself off, she said to him, "Thank you for saving my life. I'm the wealthiest woman in New York, please. Is there anything I can do for you?" "Think nothing of it," the Wanderer replied graciously. "If you must thank me, $100 would be more than enough compensation." "Are you sure?" asked the businesswoman. "I could give you 100,000 and never notice it was gone." The Wanderer insisted that $100 would be more than enough, but before the businesswoman left, she handed him her card and made him promise to call her if he ever needed anything. The Wanderer thanked her again and wandered off to find a payphone. The Wanderer flipped through a phone book and found the number of a travel agent. The Wanderer dialed the number and asked the travel agent what cruise he could take for $100. The travel agent, whose job had been largely represented by the internet, was happy for the work and found him a cruise leaving the following morning. $100 is not nearly enough money for a proper cruise experience. So when the Wanderer boarded the ship, he discovered his room to be a simple 10x10 with a threadbare mattress, no window, and a single uncovered light bulb. His room was deep below decks and next to the galley, but the Wanderer, being the person he was, decided to make the best of the situation. He helped out the crew in the kitchen and their maintenance work, accustomed as he was to working for lodging and meals for the duration of the cruise. He was well liked by the ship's staff and even noticed by the captain. When the ship returned to harbor and the Wanderer was preparing to disembark, the captain approached him. "I know your room was a simple 10x10 with a threadbare mattress, no window, and a single uncovered light bulb. deep below decks and next to the galley, but you didn't have to spend your entire vacation working for the crew," said the captain. "Please, if there is anything I can do for you to thank you for your help, just say the word." The Wanderer thought for a moment, then requested that the captain allow him to dive off the side of the ship. Nonplussed by this odd request, the captain obliged and was greeted by a showing of the most magnificent dives and acrobatics she had ever seen. A crowd gathered to see the Wanderer's daring feats as he soared through the air and entered the water without a splash, throwing tips into his hat on the deck of the ship. Seeing how good he was for business, the captain invited the Wanderer to stay aboard as a permanent entertainer for the cruise line. The Wanderer, who had never had a place to call home before, gladly accepted. Years went on, and the Wanderer's reputation spread, until one day he approached the captain. "After years of wandering," he said, "I think I have discovered my purpose. I am going to be the first person to dive off a mile-high diving board, and I would like to do it on my new home. May I build my diving board on your deck?" The captain obliged, but asked the Wanderer how he was going to pay for such an expensive project. The Wanderer drew a business card from his tattered wallet and decided to give the businesswoman a call. Thus began the most ambitious project in history, the construction of a mile-high diving board on the deck of a Croatia ship. It took many months and garnered so much attention that on the day of its completion there were thousands of people in attendance, hoping to see the Wanderer's stunt. Everyone he had met on his travels came from Africa and Asia and Europe and all 50 states, reporters and celebrities, and the businesswoman and the owners of the orphanage. People flocked from around the world to see the man who had nothing all his life make something of himself. And so the time came. The Wanderer began to ascend the ladder, climbing up, rung by rung, a mile into the sky. After a long hour, he reached the top and prepared to jump. But as always, something had to go wrong for the Wanderer. A gust of wind caught the ship as he jumped, blowing him back just a few feet. As he fell, all the onlookers came to the same grim realization. The Wanderer was not going to land in the water. He tumbled through the air, flipping and twirling and hurtling towards the deck of the ship, with thousands staring in horror at his impending doom. Wham! He smashed through the deck of the ship, through the floors below, through the ceiling that suspended his single uncovered light bulb, through his threadbare mattress, down and down. People crowded to the sides of the ship to see what happened. But one savvy reporter spotted a hand reach up and grab onto the edge of the hole where the Wanderer had fallen through the ship. Hoisting himself through the gap was none other than the Wanderer himself. The reporter rushed to his side, asking him incredulously how he had survived such a terrible fall. The Wanderer brushed himself off and responded, "In my life, I have been through many hardships."
For a second I thought I wasn't going to get it, and then I got it. Ah, that was a good one. Well, many hardships. Like and subscribe, top commenters. Have you guys ever been on a boat? On a cruise? Somewhere exotic? Or sat in a backyard pool with a little toy boat? That'll count. Catch you next week. Good day.